Luke, did you make that call as soon as you got inside?
As soon as I got my office.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean within 30 seconds.
All right, and I want to go back to the previous video and finish that to show what happened after you went inside.
Yes.
That's you, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what is that, if you know?
That was the person that I saw walking into the building. So if you asked me at the time that somebody was going to be walking in behind me, I would have told you no way. You know, the building there's fobs for every door. But like I said, you know, it's not a public building. And so when the officers came by, they asked me, you know, I was like, oh, they probably took off somewhere. My confidence in them being inside of the building was, you know, limited.
You did not think they were inside, whoever that
correct.
was?
Yeah, I definitely didn't think that they were right behind me.
Okay. In the call, you stated you referred to the individual as female and she.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the person's face?
No, I didn't. They were turned to their back. I think it was just like generally the figure of the person that I saw, more or less.
Okay. What happened after you called 911?
So you can see an officer in the top right getting there.
So that's pretty quick. Was it a few minutes?
Yeah, a couple minutes. It wasn't too bad, especially for Detroit response times.
Okay.
So when you come, or I came out and I actually met them out there because I saw their lights. If it wasn't the siren, it was like one of their floodlights.
And
but I saw
when you
somebody.
came out of the building, did you know where the individual was?
No,
Okay.
I did not. I assumed at the time they probably just took off.
All right.
I was, to be honest, I was surprised that the car was still even there. I thought they
Okay.
would've
All right.
left.
At some point, did more than just one officer arrive?
Yeah, so I think it was one or two squad cars that showed up originally, and then, so there's the second one right there. So I walked them through the building to get into the parking lot, because the parking lot is closed. And I think once they kind of confirmed that the car was correct, that's when a lot more people showed up.
What's a lot?
10 plus squad cars.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you remain? Well, let me just. At what point was this over to the extent where you went home? How many?
Oh, I was there till like 2 or 3.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and were you in the building the whole time?
No, I was in the building for probably like an hour. I was in my unit, and then they had questions. You know, I was talking with them a little bit, kind of just like generally floating between the front of the building and then inside my office. And then I got into a squad car and they took me to what they called like a command post or something like that, where it was like a couple blocks away. They had set up like a central command, like HQ for other officers and stuff like that.
At some point, did you learn whether or not the individuals were taken into custody?
Yeah, like way late in the night.
Did you learn where they were located?
Yes, I did. They so they actually walked me, like they showed me where it happened afterwards.
Where were they located?
So the painter that I referenced earlier on in this testimony, we shared basically drywall with them, 2 pieces of drywall. So they were right in the unit adjacent to where ours is.
And that unit that's on the first floor, right?
Okay. Correct. Yeah.
Does it have windows in it at all?
It does. Yeah.
And are they facing the parking lot, or are they facing?
So if you're facing the front of the building, my unit is on the right. It faces the right side of the building, and then there's another unit behind ours that also faces right into the parking lot. So this unit would have looked, and I say looked. It's not like a perfectly clear window. It's like frosted, but would have looked into the parking lot.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Did the law enforcement that showed up, did they have lights and sirens? Were there any lights? Were there any sounds?
Yeah, tons. And you know, like we're pretty aware of what goes on, just given like the thinness of the walls. You know, there's no insulation between our walls, and then you know, especially at night, you're aware of any lights that go down the street, anything like that.
You mentioned the walls and the thin walls. What do you mean? Do you mean you're aware because of noise or because of what you see?
Yeah, both. For the walls, you know, we hear other units, other people, you know, in the building. Like I know when other people are in the building, for sure. And
just to clear your testimony, you know they're in the building because you can hear them, or you know they're in the building because you see them?
Are we talking about the officers
in general,
or in general?
Hold on, just let me finish
yeah,
my question.
ahead.
This wall you share is what you're trying to say, that you can tell if somebody's in there even if you haven't seen them?
Yeah, you can hear them. If they're making noise.
Okay. And when you were in the building for that hour, was the building being searched, or was law enforcement out in the parking lot?
No, the building was being searched at that time.
And what did you hear, if anything?
So I was in like the front of the building at the time. They definitely had guns drawn. You know, they were searching the building. They were announcing that they were there. They were definitely making a presence.
Okay. Before this day, which was in December 3rd, I guess it was December late night, but before this occurred, had you ever seen anything discarded or left out in a hallway in the building?
Oh yeah, so in the center promenade that I mentioned earlier about like where the camera is, there's people put people put things to give away there, and then also people like store things there for very short periods of time. At the time, there was like a new Tempur-Pedic mattress that was there, or new to me, you know, looking new, and it was sitting up against the wall, and it was there for a while because somebody had like taped a note to it that was like, "Can I buy this from you?" You know, whoever it was.
And how long was it there? Days, weeks?
Days.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why is the mattress significant to you?
So the mattress was taken into the unit, and I saw that afterwards. So when they showed me the unit again, you could see that the mattress was then in there. You know, I don't really know who actually owned the mattress, even to this day.
At some point, did you ever see the mattress again?
Yeah, so then somebody, I don't know who, but somebody took it back out of the hallway, and I think whoever actually owned it didn't want it anymore because it floated around. Like it was sometimes like in front of the unit that they were in, and sometimes in the middle of the hallway, and sometimes like on the floor. Like it was a very, it was very agnostic where it was for a while, and then I don't know what happened to it.